It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-Commerce Minute, episode 351.
In today's episode, Kroger brings back Toys R Us for the holidays.
The iconic Toys R Us chain may be gone, but its mascot, Jeffrey, isn't going away quietly. Kroger has partnered with Jeffrey LLC, a holder of the Toys R Us intellectual property assets, to put Jeffrey's Toy Box merchandise in nearly 600 stores this holiday season. Fans of the chain will be able to shop for a mix of 35 toys, costing from $19.99 to $49.99. The toys will be for sale at various Kroger-owned grocery stores, including Ralph's, Smith's, and Fred Meyer, as well as the Kroger namesake chain. The displays will feature the Jeffrey mascot, as well as the classic style of the Toys R Us bubble logo. The pop-up stores will feature items that used to be sold only at the giant toy store and were all exclusive to Toys R Us. That meant when the entire chain shut down this past summer, these brands were gone as well. The program includes exclusive toys from brands Animal Zone, Imaginarium, Journey Girls, Edu Science, You and Me, and Just Like Home, with the product selection varying by location. Quote, "We're excited to offer Jeffrey's Toy Box this holiday season to provide our customers with the opportunity to purchase a selection of toys once exclusive to Toys R Us," end quote, said Robert Clark, Kroger's Senior Vice President of Merchandising, in a statement. The iconic chain closed this past summer after failing to restructure under bankruptcy protection. Toys R Us is kind of back a little bit.
Why?
There's some brand equity there. That would be my answer. There's definitely brand equity, and I've heard this Jeffrey LLC, I guess through the Kroger and through other partnerships, they're trying to keep the brand alive, I guess via partnerships and maybe coming back, maybe with their own stores, but that could just be a rumor.
Yeah, like why?
Brand equity. There's a lot. Listen, there's a lot of history. People are very nostalgic about Toys R Us. I only because I used to work there 100 years ago, but there's people that were, you remember when we did that story on Toys R Us, there were so many people that were just like, oh my God, a piece of my childhood has just died. So whoever owns this intellectual property is doing a very smart thing. How they continue to capitalize on that remains to be seen.
I think it's too soon.
You think it's too soon? You think people just went, oh, I remember that? Or it's like, oh, well, there it is.
Aren't they supposed to be dead? So I think if they waited 5 years or 2 years or 3 years, whatever that is, and then did it, then it's a bigger bang for the buck.
Yes, but if you're an investor in Jeffrey LLC, you're going to probably you're going to probably be singing a different tune.
True.
Because it's secured lenders, and I don't know if there's anybody in that group that were owed money or just kind of hung out to dry. So I think while I understand that feeling in terms of capitalizing on it, I also think that somebody's going to beat this giraffe until they get the last drop of money out of it.
I think that's silly. I think they should wait. I mean, buy the property rights or whatever else and just let it sit.
So the company that owns Jeffrey LLC now owns the intellectual property that includes the trademarks, the e-commerce assets, so somebody still owns that website somewhere, and the data from Toys R Us and Babies R Us, United States and internationally. So they control all that data. They still have the website. They have all the trademarks.
Keep the trademarks, sell the data, and just redo it when you're first, like in 5 years.
Yeah, no, I guess you're all right. I guess you're right. I don't know.
Because then you have that bigger nostalgic thing, right? Like, oh my God, they're back, and those kind of things, right?
Right, and you can't really scream, oh, they're back. It's like, oh, I'm buying apples, and oh, look, Toys R Us.
Right, and then redoing some experiential thing or whatever happens in 5 years, like do something along those lines. But to come back like this, it's kind of like, meh.
Yeah, you're right. So to recap the sad Toys R Us story, despite arranging financing and closing a ton of U.S. stores, the 70-year-old retailer was not able to emerge from Chapter 11 this March and announced it would liquidate U.S. operations. It soon closed, I think, in June. And that included, at the time, 885 Toys R Us and Babies R Us stores in the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Guam, and 810 international stores, all circled the drain. So Jeffrey LLC lives on at Kroger. Bart, do you have anything else to add?
Meh.
Meh. Bart is very meh about this story. I am just Captain Nostalgia today. So we don't agree on this one. Full show notes are at ecommerceminute.co. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We will see you on the internet tomorrow.
Meh.
Meh. Meh. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.